Welcome to It's Happening. My name is Jared. And Nikki Haley lies yet again. Not surprising, though. If you've been following this race at all, that's all she does is lie. All of us who pay attention know damn good and well she is the very thing we are fighting against. She is the machine, and she will further the machine's agenda. She is not for the people, not in any way. All these massive warmongering corporations that are getting behind her and all these three-letter agencies that are getting behind her are the very thing that we are trying to end in this country. And I will show you that one more time. But I also want to show you how the left's reaction to the Supreme Court tells you all you need to know yet again. That tells you all you need to know. If you pay any bit of attention, you will realize that when Democrats talk about our democracy, what they really mean is our power, our control over you. And the fools who buy into this nonsense that we're even a democracy to begin with, you guys, well, you are part of the problem because you feed into this nonsense. You teach your kids that we are something that we are not. History shows us that time and time again that they use these tactics to manipulate the masses into accepting a communist style country, a dictatorship country, all while accusing the other party of doing the very thing that you yourself are doing the whole time. I say this all the time, but the Democrats have absolutely perfected Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals. The man would be extremely jealous of what they have pulled off. It's amazing that that any grown person today can think in any way that the Democrat Party has your interest at heart. They are allowing mass illegal immigration. They are allowing child sex slavery to go on. We just had an interview with Dr. Phil and the head of the Border Patrol who flat out admits that he knows he's selling children into sex slavery, into slave encampments, I guess you'd say, where they have to, the labor, slave labor, pretty much. He knows this, admits it. I don't give a damn who's telling you to do that, sir. You yourself should be charged as well. How in the hell can you come on and admit you are committing human trafficking? You know these kids are going into sex slavery, but you're just doing your job, right? At what point does the rest of society start going, well, hell, if the people who are supposed to uphold the law of this land can do whatever the hell they want and just say, I'm just doing my job, what good are y'all? What good are the police? What good is the Border Patrol if they're doing the very thing that they're not supposed to be doing? But hey, those mean old bigot Republicans, it's mind-blowing that anybody could take anybody in the Democrat Party seriously. Somebody help me understand. Are you a Democrat? Can you help me understand how you can see them vote to get rid of the word sex offender because it might upset pedophiles, for Christ's sake? They don't want you to have guns, but they want to put the illegals in the military, who we have no clue who they are, no way of running a background on them, no way of knowing if these people would actually fight for this country. Y'all spend so much time accusing the Republicans. You never take a look at your own party. You never look at their actions. Somehow they've convinced you to just listen to their propaganda media, and anything outside of that is bigotry, white supremacy. Even though your party has always been the supremacy party. from white supremacy to any kind of supremacy that there could possibly be. The Democrats have perfected it. It's like you guys forgot that the Democrats created the KKK. It's like you forgot all about slavery. Oh, no, you guys didn't. You've just been convinced that there was some party switch, right? I mean, my goodness. All right, so let's get into it. It's very telling on some of these videos that I'm going to show you of their reaction, what they think democracy is. Now, you people who are watching this, you guys are smart enough to know what a democracy is and to know that we are not a democracy. And that is a form of brainwashing and propaganda. That's why they parrot each other over and over and over. That's why they use movies and TV shows to talk about, I took an oath to protect democracy. You did not. You took an oath to defend the Constitution from foreign and domestic. What? That's right. You did not take an oath to defend democracy because we are not a democracy. Now, are we? So let's get into it, guys. If you haven't yet, would you kindly smash that like button? Comment below. I have the live chat up if you would like to talk with me. If you have any comments or questions, maybe you see something the way I don't, and I would truly appreciate you letting me know. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm gonna pull these videos up first. I'll do the Nikki Haley one last. All right, this is The Hill on YouTube. It says, delicious tears. Legacy media melts down over Trump SCOTUS victory. Let's check it out.
Legacy media had a meltdown following the Supreme Court's ruling that Donald Trump is eligible to run for president, nixing the Colorado Supreme Court's earlier decision that tried to block him from being on the ballot. Let's take a look.
I will be shocked if Donald Trump doesn't, as soon as he can, get out there and argue not only that the Supreme Court is behind him, but he's probably going to argue, even though there's nothing in here that specifically says, as Ellie so importantly pointed out, anything about what happened on January 6th. It's just procedural about whether the states or Congress have.
Don't you like that? She's got to point out that there's nothing in there about January 6th. Only she leaves out the fact that Congress has to do this, that they never even charged him with insurrection. There has never been one single charge of insurrection. That's why the Supreme Court said no. I mean, it's obvious. There is no charge of insurrection. So why in the hell would the Supreme Court care anything that has to do with January 6th? You guys were just trying to go around all of that. Let's keep listening.
Have a right. He will claim victory, and I'm guessing he will do it in a more broad way than this decision.
My larger reaction is disappointment.
All right, before this one goes, I want you guys to listen to what this woman says. This tells you everything about the Democrat Party and their so-called democracy, because we all know that what they are doing is actually diverting democracy. It's the opposite of democracy. They are trying to take the most popular person off the ballot so you can't vote for him. Can somebody please put in the live chat, what is a democracy? How does a democracy work? Let's just act like we are a democracy. How does a democracy work? Now, listen to what this woman says. It's very, very clear where they are. Listen to this.
I do believe that states should be able, under our Constitution, to bar oath-breaking insurrectionists. And ultimately, this decision...
Oath-breaking insurrectionists. Again, can anybody point out to me where Trump has been charged with an insurrection and convicted? Or has he been charged with breaking an oath and convicted? I don't think so. I'm pretty damn sure he hasn't. Let's continue.
Leaves open the door for Congress to act, to pass authorizing legislation. But we know that Congress is a nearly non-functioning body. So ultimately, it will be up to...
let me help you understand what she just said. Congress has a Republican majority, so it doesn't function the way we want it to function. So there must be a threat to democracy. Again, they are telling you, showing you who the real threat to an actual democracy would be if we were a democracy.
The American voters to save our democracy in November.
Oh, hold on. You got to hear that again.
Be up to the
Listen very closely to what she says, because it's always been up to the American voters if this was a democracy, right? Am I right here, guys? Help me understand. If we lived in a democracy, wouldn't it be up to the majority of the voters to choose? But now she's saying, now it's up to you guys because we couldn't use the court to screw you over. So now it's up to you guys to actually vote in a democracy. Am I hearing this wrong? Am I seeing this wrong? Somebody let me know. I mean, for real. They claim we live in a democracy. They do everything in their power to get the leading candidate off the ticket while screaming the Republicans and MAGA are the biggest threat to democracy. And then they turn around and say things like this. Let's listen to her one more time. Listen real close.
Nearly non-functioning body. So ultimately, it will be up to the American voters to save our democracy in November.
You hear that? Come on, guys. Am I hearing that wrong? Let me know. What do you think? It will be up to the voters. It was always up to the voters unless you guys thought you could steal it using the courts. Shouldn't it? I mean, am I crazy here? Shouldn't it have always been up to the voters? Shouldn't it have always been up to we the people? I mean, if we were a democracy, isn't that how it really works? And if we were a democracy, how is it allowed to take the leading candidate off? That doesn't seem like a democracy to me. That seems like a banana republic, a Stalin-type Soviet Union, or a new style China, now doesn't it? It sounds exactly like what the Democrats really want. They always tell you exactly what they want. All right, let's go on.
Conservative Justice Amy Coney Barrett sided with liberal justices but did not join their opinion, writing her own instead, saying this suit was brought by Colorado voters under state law in state court. It does not require us to address the complicated question whether federal legislation is the exclusive vehicle through which Section 3 can be enforced. Particularly in this circumstance, writings on the court should turn the national temperature down, not up. So this was the big point of distinction, obviously, between the majority five-person aspect of the and then the concurrence that was written by the liberal justices, and then separately by Amy Coney Barrett. The question is whether or not the decision was overly broad insofar as it foreclosed the possibility of excluding a president that was found to have been an insurrectionist from the ballot.
Again. Can anybody send me one link where he was found to be an insurrectionist, found guilty and charged, and he is an insurrectionist? Or is this just flat out propaganda? I showed you guys yesterday in real time how the Smith-Mundt Act is to allow the media and the politicians and anybody else to flat out lie to you. And they're doing it
via legislation. So that's a little bit hard to maybe wrap your mind around. How else would it happen? Well, imagine a world where there were a trial, for instance. Trump was actually convicted of doing an insurrection, and some laws are self-executing. So Congress, the president could say, okay, well.
Did you hear that? Some laws are self-executing. Guys, I could do a whole episode on that. Do you understand what they're saying when they say there is a self-executing law? If you don't, put in the comments yes or no, because I will do a whole episode on that and how dangerous it is for our politicians to be writing laws for self-executing laws and bills into our system. It's beyond dangerous. If you don't know what it is, let me know in the comments.
On the face of it, he's an insurrectionist. Just like on the face of it, a candidate may or may not be 35 and eligible, and therefore they cannot run, they cannot be on the ballot. But what the majority is saying here is that unless Congress, which is a divided Congress to the point of that pundit there, unless they are able to pass legislation that says this guy or woman can't be on the ballot, it's a no-go, which does really limit the possibilities that someone, even if there were national.
What she's leaving out, it's extremely important to know this stuff. What she is leaving out is that's how it's supposed to work. And not only that, this amendment that they were using to go after Trump was meant for, guess who? The Confederate Party. Who was the head of the Confederate Party again? It was for those people after the Civil War so that they did not get back into a position of power and manipulate this country again. That's what it was for. All of those people are dead. You understand that, right? Yeah. It's truly unbelievable. All right, guys, let's go watch the Nikki Haley video real quick. And remember this, guys. Do you remember when they were going on the debate stage with her, and Vivek and the Chris Christie and DeSantis? Y'all remember that they all took an oath to support whoever the people vote for their nominee to be? That was their only way to keep in the race. Y'all remember that? Yeah, she did it. She took an oath to stand behind whoever the eventual nominee is. Now let's hear what she has to say about that. This is NBC News on YouTube.
Have you taken the possibility of endorsing him off the table at this point?
It's not anything I think about. What I have
But
said
is it off the table, Ambassador? It sounds like you are in a different place. Are people misinterpreting what you're saying? Have you moved to a place where you're no longer planning to endorse him?
Well, I think first of all, if you talk about an endorsement, you're talking about a loss. I don't think like that. When you're in a race, you don't think about losing. You think about continuing to go forward. What I can tell you is I don't think Donald Trump or Joe Biden should be president. I don't think that we need two candidates in their 80s. I don't think we want a Joe Biden who calls his opponents fascists or a Donald Trump who calls his opponents vermin. No one wants that. I think people want a new generational leader that is going to go back to what the American dream is, what we want for our kids, in a place that's something that we can be proud of again.
No, we don't want you, Nikki Haley.
You did sign a pledge, an RNC pledge, to support the eventual nominee. Do you still feel bound by that pledge?
I have always said that I have serious concerns about Donald Trump. I have even more concerns about Joe Biden.
So is that a no? Are you bound by the RNC pledge?
The RNC pledge, I mean, at the time of the debate, we had to take it to where, would you support the nominee? And you had to, in order to get on that debate stage, you said yes.
There it is, people. Yeah, I lied to y'all so I could get on that stage and debate. So I could get to where we're at now. I flat out lied to you. Do you really want this as your president? Do you really want a woman has lied over and over and over and over again to be the first woman president? We have got to stop just accepting lying as a part of politics. It should not be a part of politics. Why? We don't put up with it anywhere else in our life. Why in the world do we put up with it from these people? She's flat out telling you, I said what I had to say, and that's all there is to it. When in reality, even if she didn't mean it, the best way to help her situation right here would be to have come out and said, yes, I stand by what I pledged, my oath. I stand by it. As simple as that, even if she didn't mean it. If you want to be a good liar, at least lie that way. Don't come out and say exactly why you had to lie to get on stage. I cannot respect you for that. I cannot trust you ever again, ever, with anything, especially with the seat of power. Let's listen some more.
The RNC is now not the same RNC. Now it's
so you're no
Trump's
longer bound
daughter-in-law.
by that pledge.
No, I think I'll.
The RNC is no longer the same because one person left their job. It's no longer the same. It's not the same Republican National Committee. Really? We are not the same people that you swore that you would get behind if we chose Donald Trump over you? You see the problem here? She is only concerned about party, position, and power. She is not concerned about taking those things down. This is the whole issue with both parties in our country. They don't give a damn about the people anymore. They do not care what you and I think, and that is very obvious. It's very clear. She is telling you that if you vote to make Donald Trump the candidate, I'm not going to listen to you. I swore I would when I started all this, but I'm letting you know now I was lying, so it doesn't really matter, right? Is that okay with you? It's sure not with me, guys. Don't forget to get out and vote today. It is Super Tuesday, and your votes do matter. They absolutely matter. Don't let these people fool you. Even though they steal the elections left and right, and we all know they do, it's very obvious that they do. It's still important that we fight back against it. Because trust me, the Democrats would rather you and I decide that there's no chance and for us to just give up than to go and vote, than to keep fighting back. And I don't know about you guys, but this country means a hell of a lot more to me to just sit back and let it fall apart and go, oh, well, you know, I don't like politics. Do you have kids? Do you have grandkids? Do you have a family legacy that you want to see continue? Do you want them to have freedom of choice? Do you want them to live under a tyrant? Do you want our country to become the next China? These are all things you should seriously be thinking about. Because if you're okay and you think communism is better, then just keep voting Democrat. Because that's all they are. The Communist Party of America. They've made that very clear. Nikki Haley is no better. The Republican Party is no better. We have no representation actually fighting for us. The only person who's been fighting for us, they're doing everything in their power to completely destroy him and anybody who stands with him. So again, can you please explain to me how you guys are fighting to protect democracy? Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and comment on it. Share it with your friends and family. It will help us get seen more. We appreciate the support from you guys so much already. We have a Patreon account. We have 3 Rumble channels. Make sure you follow them all. We do different things. We are looking for more guests to come on. I want to start doing a history show once a week. If you like to talk about history and you know enough about specific topics, reach out to me. Let's talk. I would love to have you on if you'd like to come on once a week and us talk about it. I think it would be fun to do that on just different topics, all kinds of history, whatever you like, whatever you know about, I'm in for. Even if it's something that I don't know, because I want to learn too, guys. I want to grow with you guys. So let me know if you'd be interested in coming on and talking history or any other topic, guys. Just let me know. Thank you again. It means the world to my wife and I. You guys have a wonderful day. God bless.